What's up, folks? It is Thursday night, right? And/or, as I usually say, Friday, Thursday night. For those who like to keep track of the days of the week, it is episode 194. And joining us on the phone will be Kevin Mench here momentarily. We have not spoken to Kevin since the Phillies lost in the World Series, so it'd be great to get his intake as far as what went on with the MLB this year, the changes. Now, Bruce Bochy doing good things out there in Texas. The Phillies are on a slump, but it's no big deal because they did win a series out in Chicago, so we'll bring that up. Along with some NFL news, Jalen Hurts, we all know he got paid, with the Sixers winning 2 straight over the Nets, and is Draymond Green, the new bad boy of the NBA, because apparently he likes to step on people's chest or ribs or however else you want to call it. So joining me tonight, of course, is Ryan Neff, my co-host, Ronnie Ghent, our NFL analyst, and my producer over in Studio B. So we'd like to welcome everyone here, along with the folks that, if I get this started as well, so people can listen in, over on AMP Radio. So there's a couple of ways you guys can listen to us. Obviously, one way would be here live on Broad Street South. The other way that you guys can listen to us is on Sports Radio 102.9 FM The Game. And the third way to catch up with all of us is over on AMP Radio. So again, 3 ways from Sunday to listen in. But more importantly, we thank you all for tuning in tonight. Just on the other side of the intro here will be my co-host, Ryan F. So we thank you from all over the world. I'm Angel Martinez. This is episode 184. And welcome to Broad Street South. There it is.
Back.
All right, on this side here, it is Ryan F., my co-host. Ryan, how are you this evening?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ryan F. It's great to be with everybody this evening. Hey, the Pirates are 12-7. They're up 4-0 on the Reds. They're about to go 13-7. And I'm looking out the window to see if hell's going to freeze over yet. So a lot to talk about. Obviously, Jalen Hurts' contract. You got the Sixers in full swing in the NBA playoffs. You got the NHL playoffs going on right now. Sorry, Angel. The Maple Leafs are up 3-0 right now.
That's fine with me.
So it's a lot to talk about, and excited to have Kevin back on to talk a little about the Phillies.
Well, listen, the Flyers aren't in it, so it doesn't matter to me as long as the Lightning are in there, I guess. But with us tonight also, Ronnie Ghent, fresh off the state championship. Yes, the XSSL state championship with his junior Spartans. It is Ronnie. He joins us here tonight. Ronnie, how are you other than the celebration mode?
Living the dream, man, as always, coming off championship weekend, the boys went out and had a 5-0 spring season. I'm very proud of the junior Spartans, first season. So, looking for great things in the future, and hopefully some of these young men got a chance to, increase their knowledge and get some more playing time and get ready for the up and coming spring ball season that's coming up. And everybody goes back to their prospective high schools, and I'll be keeping a close eye, and just happy to be here. Going back to Louisville tomorrow, go Cards. Gotta shout them out. So going to see with the new coach Jeff Brom in the building, alum as well, along with the Brom family. So I'm excited to see us return to excellence. So it's great all around.
That's right. It's all good things. And what I like to call our in-house MLB
I lost your audio.
Yeah, I can't hear either.
Lost your audio, Chief. See what happens when you don't pay the bills, Ronnie? We can see Angel talking, but we can't hear him. Maybe that's a better thing. I don't know.
No, yeah, that's
there he
what
goes.
I like. So you can hear me now?
I can hear you.
There you go.
Can you guys hear Kevin?
I can hear him.
You can hear Kevin?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. See, listen, all I did was flip the screen. That's what happens, Kevin. When you go live, you know this, as with the Big Head podcast you have as well. So it just everything. It's one of those goofy things. So hopefully, and I'll get the nod here from my producer. She comes back in the room to let me know everything as well. But so Kevin, first things first, I guess with the Rangers, are you guys, I won't say absolutely thrilled, but obviously a big move during the offseason. You guys end up getting Bruce Bochy, and so far in first place with the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, I actually have not been watching much baseball. Just keep it just the highlights of what I've seen. I mean, they've been getting some pretty good pitching, and I mean that's what's been the biggest thing that struggled with here is pitching, is getting guys to go deep into games, and that's what they're doing. And offensively, I think they scored almost 30 runs in a 3-game series in Kansas City. So I mean, they're putting the runs up, but it's one of those things where it's it's still early. They're 3 weeks into the season, and I don't know. It's always why it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So you just you want these guys just to continue. I know the Phillies out of the chute had some bad injuries right out. They lost Reese and then they lost Hall. And it's just one of those things where you just got to weather the storm. It's you try and stay as healthy as you can and keep these guys going. The Rangers seem to have that. I don't know when they get into their division games and start to see really where they're going to stack up. I know they went into Houston, which was big for them to go. I think they took 2 or 3 from Houston. So I mean, that's a start. So I mean, it's like I said, we've still got a long way to go. I think the Yankees come in here in a few weeks. I think the Phillies went up there and just got really just run over by them as well. It seems like every series we've seen them, they just seem to be. I mean, they're giving up touchdowns a game right now.
That they are unfortunate, but then, we've seen obviously weirder things when it comes to unfortunate Major League Baseball. With the Phillies, I don't think anybody saw it as far as the start that they've been having. It's been kind of a rough start, and again, I don't know if just because some of these coaches that were lost, obviously some that were gaining the inexperience so far. From where the Phillies had started last year, it was almost the same start. Obviously, I've not heard yet that anybody wants the skipper to be let go, and Philly fans should not be wanting for the skipper to be let go. But Kevin, you know as much as I know how the Philly faithful are. When things aren't going their way, they want to make sure the guys get executed. They don't want to have them around or anything else. As Ryan also is grinning, telling how he feels as well. But for the Phillies, it's a long season. Just like you said, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a long way to go. So the Phillies, I believe, will bounce back. As long as DC is at the bottom, that's all I care about.
It was good. It was good seeing him. I got a chance to talk to Kevin Long when they were in town. I was talking to Bryce Harper for a little bit about his rehab and him, getting back and just being ready to go. And I think they bought into what Thompson's is pushing. So it's just a matter of next man up. But the problem is, it just seems like the next man that's coming up is getting hurt. They had high hopes for Hall, and then he's a week into the season he gets hurt. So that's why Reese is gonna go over there to first and do it. But like I said, that's what it is. You just got to weather the storm. But I know, and then Reese won't be back for this year. And same with Hall. But they've got to figure something out and get. I think it's more the pitching side of it. I didn't even watch. I think I left the opening game. It was right when Bohm hit the home run. They were up 5-0. I get home. My son goes, they tied it up. Next thing I know, they gave up a 9 spot in that inning. It just seemed like that just, when it's, that downhill, it's that snowball effect. But I don't know if they've really gotten consistent pitching. Really, has that been the biggest thing that you guys have seen?
Yeah, I think that's been the biggest thing. Is just the pitching has not been there. And I don't know what the pitching coach, what he's going to do as far as adjustment wise. I haven't seen anything yet. I mean, during the Chicago series, it has been something that's been major. Obviously, they're able to win the series, but as far as any adjustments, I didn't even see it during the Chicago series at all. So we'll see. I mean, who knows? Maybe coming home now, as they were home to practice, it could be a possibility that they'll finally start getting that turnaround. But pitching coach, I don't know. We'll get to see it. Ryan, I don't know if you saw anything different as well.
Well, Kevin, here's the thing. I mean, they've got to figure out something with the pitching staff because their starters do not look good at all. I mean, at all. I mean, right now we're in the top of the 6th. They're losing to the Rockies. The Rockies stink, and you're down 3-0, and you can't get the hitting going in this particular game. But again, people keep talking about the pitch clock and what. I was never like a proponent of the pitch clock, but they should have started to figure this stuff out in February and March, especially with some of the things that are going on. I know, your pitching staff last year sort of carried you a little bit, but now at the beginning of the season, you're starting to see a pattern develop, and if they don't get out of it quick, I mean, they're already 6 games behind the Braves. I picked the Braves to win the East, but they don't want the Braves to get out too far.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The Mets are going to figure it out as well and start and get those guys going. And it all, with this whole Scherzer thing, I just saw, brief interview of what he said with the rosin and everything else. But, guys are putting stuff on the baseball all the time, heck, especially when it's cold. But so, I mean, who knows? Was it rosin and everything else? And they told him. But I think, like I said, the way baseball is now, let's let him play. Let him figure it out. If he's cheating, you go up there. If it's a National League game, you drill him. That's what I'm saying. You let the guys police the game. You have this bigger bases, pitch clocks. What else? I mean, I just can't even fathom. Now they're going to do. What are they doing in the Atlantic League? Ghost runners or something stupid.
Yeah, I think it's
I mean,
ghost
what in
runners.
the world are we? What are we doing? What are we doing to our national pastime? We're turning this into a joke.
Yep.
The game of baseball has become a joke because they're trying to cater to the people that don't even watch it already.
Yep, that's a
So we
big
can get
problem.
more fans in. Yes.
Well, analytics have destroyed the game. Okay, analytics.
Yes.
Then you have pitchers can play. Look, go back to the old way. Let pitchers pitch till 7th or 8th inning. Let them play the game. The only thing I sort of have a problem with right now is, Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, but the strike zone was from the shoulders down to your knees, and then that was it. But I watched the game today, and I'm like, I'd rather have MC go to computerized strike zone than this crap. So, I mean, I don't know what your take on it is, but to me, it started with analytics and all that crazy nonsense, and then it just fed into other stuff. And you got to stop tinkering.
But that's what they do in pro sports. I mean, anytime if it's not broke, don't fix it. But like they want to cater to how can we get more fans? How can we make more money? How can we do this? How can we do that? And it's all kind of gimmicks, and they do it with every sport. And it's like you said, they're trying to entertain the people that really aren't true fans, and it makes it bad for the guys that are, and it's sad.
Yeah, and you're right. The analytics have destroyed. Analytics can't mess with football, basketball, and hockey so much, but baseball, yes. I mean, can you think about it? Okay, Jalen's the spin rate of his spiral is at 8,400, whatever. I mean, really, they don't sit there and do that. But baseball, they talk about it. The curveball has this much spin rate. His fastball has this much. We've got bases the size of pizza boxes. You can only throw over so many times. We got to check the gloves. We got to instant replay every single piece of it. You're right. The strike zone. They're humans. They're going to make mistakes. Okay, yes. For its really important plays, like the perfect game, the Jim Joyce and Galarraga. Yes. But for every nitpicking thing, right? Oh, my gosh. It's that's what I mean. And they want to complain about, well, the games are this and that. Hey, I don't say they were talking about during the World Baseball Classic. Guys were out there. Games were 3.5 hours. People were glued to their TVs the entire time, weren't they?
Yep, they sure were.
So it's when you got a good product on the field, if you're good and they'll be there. If you suck, you're going to end up dealing with Oakland. And I'm sure they don't draw anybody. Of course, that's why they just figured out they're probably going to Vegas.
Yeah.
Right?
That is the reason why. Well, the next thing you know, Kevin, we'll just have a bunch of TikTok influencers in between innings and just going out there and putting out God knows what, because that's where it's going. I mean, you're absolutely right. None of your fans, those of us who love the game of baseball, we don't mind the extra innings. I still think, and I don't know why MLB baseball did this, where they go into extra innings and you still have that goofy runner starting on second. I've been to games where it's been 18 innings over. Obviously, they basically 2 games into one, and something you love. When I was in Philly, the one night we didn't end the game till 4 a.m. Started at 7:30 the night before, ended at 4 because it just went into 21 extra innings. But it's one of those things that's what you love. But unfortunately, they are trying to speed things up. I mean, other than obviously ad revenues, they didn't think about that. Beer sales, obviously, they didn't think about that. None of that stuff. So I don't care for the new goofy rules. I think, to me, if you don't love the game of baseball, you got plenty of other sports you can go watch somewhere else. So that's just my take with it. And obviously, from again, just on a fan perspective, I think it's just leave things just the way they were. And who knows what's going to come up next year. Obviously, a lot of these catchers are saying they're getting outwinded. Pitchers are saying they're getting winded from in between throws or running to first. So it's ridiculous to me.
It's like basketball. I need to play. I can only play so many. You play 82 games, really? I need a break. Come on. Yeah. I mean, we play 162. They want to cut it down. That's what it's meant for. That's where you separate the men from the boys, of how guys do it. You don't. I don't think I've seen one hockey player come out and go, "Hey, I'm not going to play this time. I'm tired. This and that." No, we are there for the fans. The fans aren't there for us. A lot of these guys are coming out saying, if I sit and there's somebody there paying to see me play and I'm not there, I've let that fan down. So it's my job as an athlete to entertain them, whether or not I have a good night or a bad night. But that's the thing. It's about the workload, really. Yeah. I mean, really complaining about the workload. You're making $70 million and you're going to complain about the workload. Really? Grow a set, guys. I mean, come on.
But you got to think, man, a lot of these guys are staying in the house soaking up the AC. These guys don't go outside and play no more. Like,
gosh.
I hate it being in the house. If you wanted to punish me, tell me I had to stay in the house.
Yes, exactly. Can you imagine those in this, like Philly? You were to somebody Embiid's going to, hey, I'm not going to play these next 2 games. But okay, if you're going to say that, you need to go stand in front of your fans out there and tell them. And see what they all do.
Yeah.
Do it that way if you're going to do it, right? Because if somebody pays to go see him play and he's not playing, well, what the hell? Why do I want to go to a game? What am I doing? Right? You're part of your contract. You don't have to play 85% of your games to get your to get your full salary. Really? No. You're getting paid to play your game. 82 games. Go play your 82. For every game you don't, because you don't feel like it, you get docked pay. Should do it that way. All contracts should be based on what's coming up. Yeah, you did good. Okay, here's your money. Do it that way. Then you really have some.
The problem is that we have a nation of participation trophies. That's what it is. I could have other choice words, but I'll leave it at that to clean up for the show. But it's exactly what it is. No one wants to go out there and work hard. Nobody. My son showed up for 15 games and you want a cookie? Oh, he gets a trophy, doesn't it? For what? For showing up? So that's the problem where things are changing right now. Everything's evolving the wrong way. No one wants to work hard.
They want to watch it on TV. Ooh, I got better. I'm good. Yeah. I'm good. That's my practice for today. Right? They don't want to. They don't see. All they see is what they see on TV. They're missing the other 6 hours of the blood, sweat, and tears that guys put into it to get to that point. That's what they miss. And that's the thing, though. This generation, it's lazy. It's the respect too of, hey, you guys all owe me. What come see me. Heck, I see it on baseball. I yelled at a kid the other day out there showing somebody up, and I'm like, hey, son, you're not going to do that. And then the coach said something over it. He's like, I got taken care of. I said, okay, you better. I said, thank you. And then he said something about emotion doing this. I said, I don't care. That's not how you do it.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin, just real quick.
Does this?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, Kevin, it's Ryan. Just real quick, getting back to the pitch clock a little bit. I caught some of the Yankees-Angels games today. I think Sandoval was on the mound for the Angels. You could tell that he did not feel comfortable and he could not get into a rhythm because of the pitch clock, because he felt rushed. I don't know, how long do you think it's going to take most starting pitchers to try and get used to this thing?
They're not, because it'll be gone. The union will probably have had enough of it and say, nope, we're not doing this anymore. We're not, because you're right. I mean, I was talking to Bryce Harper about when we were here. I said, Bryce, think about those at-bats you had in the NLCS. Those moments where it's basically do or die, right? And you're just trying to gather yourself, and you got about 10 seconds. I got to get in the box and be ready to go, or I'll be an automatic strikeout, right? And moments like that, and they go, oh, well, maybe we'll just stop it in the 9th inning. Really? So you're already retracting on how you've already set this up. So gosh. It's unbelievable. Next thing you know, they'll be playing with glow-in-the-dark baseballs or something. And I mean, baseball now in general. When we were growing up, it was a baseball game. That's it. Now it's an amusement park, and there's a baseball game going on inside it.
Yep.
That's all it is.
People aren't there for baseball, right? They're there for all the other stuff.
That's all it is. And they got to figure out, like, just like minor league baseball, that's also turning into in a somewhat circus because they bring in different bands, magicians, all kinds of things they're bringing in now. So you're right, Kevin. And by the way, Mike Klein, the founder of Philly to South, he says, "Hello, Kevin. Dallas, this sucks. My two dogs are saying hi to you. So go Eagles." He does it every time. every time when it comes to him. But that's all right though. He actually, so you missed it though, Kevin, this year because he actually sold shirts this year at Tampa Joe's with his famous logo and slogan on the back of it all season long.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all season long. He finally found someone that were able to do it for him. So he had the Philly to South in the front, and then my two dogs, Dallas and Sucks. He had it on the back. And he sold them. He sold every single one of them. It became legendary, I guess, for him. Yeah, so it worked.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what it's all about. Like I said, he's had those. That's just greatness.
Sure is.
Good old Mike.
Hey, the other thing I wanted to ask him real quick, Angel, is, it's come out that obviously Oakland's moving from Oakland to Vegas because they're building a $1 billion stadium. Do you think some of the other small market teams are going to maybe follow suit in the coming future?
Would it be what? Tampa Bay, but they're building them a brand new stadium.
Yeah.
What other small markets you think would move? If anything, they're gonna try and they'll expand to what are they? We're 32 now.
32.
I mean, my Pirates suck.
Yeah, but the Pirates aren't going to move. They're not going to move. They're Three River Stadium down there where they are. They're just fine. Well, PNC Park. Excuse me. I'm aging myself here, but PNC Park. And by the way, Kevin, Mike says if you want a T-shirt.
Of course, 2X. I need actually a schmedium.
All right, Mikey, I'll call you up and tell him he was a schmedium. Sean Kilrain.
Text, Mike, yeah. But I don't know if it's small market teams. I'm thinking if you're gonna the places you think would be ideal, definitely Vegas because of, heck, the amount of gambling there. Nashville seems like it would be a feasible option. Charlotte, I don't know. Do the Panthers struggle to get fans in? I don't know. It just really depends. Salt Lake City, I don't know. I don't see it because it's not a destination where people want to go. I want to go to Salt Lake City to watch a Major League Baseball game. Right. Vegas, yes. Nashville, yes. There's draw. There's something to draw it to that location. But I mean, gosh, I know if you're gonna do, you got to do at least two if you're gonna do it. So
right.
That's the problem. And who knows? Manfred might stick one over in Chinese Taipei for all we know.
It could be. You're right. It could, because that's the direction the NFL wants to go. The NFL is trying to stick a team in Africa. I mean, he's trying to go everywhere. Yeah.
So these guys don't want to play. I mean, nobody's going. The only guys that'll play is the ones that got to. The big name guys, they're not doing that. Just like the whole thing with England. I mean, just imagine if you're on the West Coast. I mean, you're like so far behind. It's like, and then who's going to stay up and watch that game? You know how late the people got to stay up to even watch the Super Bowl? Like, it's just, or the World Series or anything. It's just, I mean, it's cool to do the tours and going to different places to bring the game over there. And I think it's cool for the players and their families to go visit. But to do that, I mean, that's a logistical nightmare. Like, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, you got to schedule. So even if say if they did put a team in London, you got to think if anybody from the West Coast went, your next week has to be your bye week. So you're gonna have to play an East Coast team, and then you're gonna have to go over there, and then you're gonna have to be on the bye week.
Right.
And it's just it's crazy, man. But I tell you what, if that when that stadium's built in Vegas, All-Star Weekend, just like the Super Bowl this year, it's gonna be it's gonna be great.
Yeah. Well, they'll end up with an NBA team too, probably out there in Vegas. Because they're talking about putting another one back in Seattle. Yeah. So and then they'll put one in Vegas. So why not? And then you'll have that because you're right, the draw that's there. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. And I get it, trying to get but no. I mean, even you've got to keep it here. Toronto going into Canada's fine, but you couldn't put a team in Mexico City. You kidding me? The cartel would kill everybody.
Yeah.
right? It would be so,
Yep.
It'd be so much, right? It'd be more the security aspect of doing it that way. So it's good to think globally, but really, I mean, think about it. That would be like one of those the English Premier League teams having teams over here in the U.S.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No, just figure out create your own league. I know they tried NFL Europe, whatever, however long ago that was. So, we've got 3 football leagues now here, 3 or 4, USFL, XFL,
and the NFL.
yeah, and yeah. So I mean,
Medium league.
figure something out over there. Yeah. So and then if you're going to do that,
They the Euro League is doing well over there for football, but they're playing right now, so it's like, and then the GFL, which is the German football league, they're doing excellent as well too. So I mean, trust me, it's the football that's being played all over Europe is doing fine. It's just that's just that, and just leave it alone. Like, still play your London game, but putting a team over there,
No.
Mexico City, no.
No.
And so I mean, and then they won't do it up in Toronto, because even though that would work, they won't do it there because they feel like it'll destroy the CFL.
Right.
yeah.
Well,
And somebody had said originally that the Bills might move to Toronto. I guess because they have to pay when Wilson dies, all the luxury tax they have to pay. So they thought they would just move them to Toronto.
I don't,
But I don't know if that's still that was a while ago. Yeah.
but they were also thinking about
But
too.
It's right there, so they might as well.
There was rumor though that supposedly they were thinking about building was it a 1.2 or 2.2 billion dollar stadium out there in Buffalo. So who knows? I mean, everything keeps switching around, but that was the latest before. Just as the season was concluding, they were talking about that Buffalo was really thinking about building a covered dome stadium out there for the Bills, and obviously having a retractable roof. So when the weather's really nice, they can still do it. But taking away obviously the snow event that he had before, what was it, our last home game of the season when they had that major snowstorm.
Yep.
So who knows? But I want to bring up Sean's comment here, because Sean, our sports contributor, he says, "What's up, guys?" And Kevin, how about your Rangers at 12-6? And then he follows it up with a question for you, Kev. Do you believe Mad Max with Sweat and Rosin, excuse me, because he put Rosin in there, but Rosin on his hand will lead to his ejection?
No, there had to be something more than that, because rosin doesn't get. Like I said, I don't know the tackiness of what it felt like, but if you've ever put rosin on with sweat, because I would do it even if I wasn't pitching, just because I tried to get the sweat to stop running down. It's so hot. It doesn't really. There has to be some other substance in there, depending on. You could have sprayed just a little bit of pine tar to get it to stay on there. Who knows? But hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
he can appeal it though too.
Yeah, but then it comes. That's the whole judgment thing of, So I've heard that. I've talked to some guys. These younger umpires, everybody else. They just think that, don't mess with me. I'm here and I'm the best. You're not going to mess with me. So I think a lot of it too just kind of take it personal with how they handle this stuff. Right? I don't care if you're Max Scherzer and I've got one day in the big leagues as an umpire. You're going to do this and everything else. So I don't know. It all depends on how long before the union really. It's fed up with it, and I think Scherzer's one of the guys one of the spokespeople for their union when they go into the meeting. So I'm sure he's just taking this, and he's like, "Hey, next time we sit down, we're going to talk about this for sure."
Yeah. Well, and we know that the Mets will probably be back up there. Max Scherzer, I know this is such a mess this year with MLB, and who knows what's going to end up happening, but. I don't know. Mostly there's a lot, obviously a lot of the season left. It's just beginning. We'll see what happens by the All-Star break. Who knows if that's going to change. I mean, at this right now, why don't we just make an AI field for the All-Star game, bring in a bunch of robots and just do it that way if everybody wants to be entertained? Because at this point, I don't know how much more they're going to end up doing more damage to Major League Baseball, because it doesn't make any freaking sense. So I don't know. I don't want to get on a high horse, because it just freaking drives me nuts.
They've turned all those things into a circle. Look at the NHL All-Star game. We're shooting at surfboards. Whatever happened to the hockey game, a competitive hockey game? Yeah. The NFL and flag football. Are you kidding me? Really?
Yeah. Listen, I said the same thing, but forget it. I'm not even Kevin, I'm going to have you on the next time, and I'll go into my rant on the next one because I can get into a long one when it comes to that one because that drove me absolutely nuts. A two-hand touch, flag football nonsense that went on out there in Vegas. But again, they sold the seats, and I guess that's what they wanted. But I'll leave it at that. Matter of fact, because Ronnie and I had this.
Told them to go. Let's go see how stupid this is, and then we'll never do it again.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the guys aren't gonna hit. So like they gotta come up with something. But my thing is, I mean, let some of the other guys go because I know plenty of guys that would take the shot to play in. I mean, if they don't want to play, they don't want to play. But some of the other guys will, and that's the thing. But they want the stars out there, and they don't. Hell, they don't even. I mean, they don't even want to practice 2 days. You know what I'm saying?
Do they incentivize the Pro Bowl like they do the?
Yeah, you get paid. They still got the money. They still for the flag football game and all that. They still got the bonus. Still, both teams still got paid. One got paid more than the other. Nothing changed. It was flag football, and that's what's sad about it. Because I mean, they made their money. Because trust me, they sold it. They sold the seats.
And I'll even say this when it comes to change, and Ronnie could attest to this. When they were thinking about adding the extra game, most of the players didn't want it. They did not want to play an extra game. I mean, Ronnie can attest to the fact that how long it takes to recover from just one game, and now you're asking us to go an extra game. Then you're going to do this, this, and this. We still only get one bye week, the whole 9 yards. So most of the players did not want that. It's just another way for the owners to make money.
But I think everything would be better, like with this whole guaranteed contract stuff, and you would start doing better with the contracts, doing better with, life after football. I mean, guys would do it, but it's like as it stands, it's like it sucks because I'm playing an extra week, and what is it doing for me? It's beneficial. I mean, they made another $1 billion just for that 1 week. So it's like, but nobody. I mean. But you, like the thing that Lamar is going through right now, that's crazy, So it's just, I mean, it's they want more, but they don't want to do more, and that's how it is, and it's just it's crazy, and it's not gonna change until these guys start managing their money properly, and when they get into a situation like this, just sit down. Because that's when you got the upper hand. When you manage your money, stop buying 85 cars and 85 houses and, buying jewelry that don't matter, and trying to impress people and look for the lifelong end goal, which you deserve because you work so hard to get to this point instead of having a 50 million man entourage. You know what I'm saying? It's just, when you protect your investment, and when things like this happen, get offline. Don't tweet nothing. Don't say nothing. Just say, hey, this is what I want. And until I get that, it is what it is. And if I don't have to play, I don't have to play because 95% of them make enough money if they do it right. I mean, it's life-changing money. I mean, and if you do it right, you'll be paid forever.
Yep. That comes down to their unions as well, doing that stuff. You think about the amount of money these sports are raking in. I mean, it's just baseball, billion. They sign all these long-term TV deals. Yet let's just create more and more stupidness because this is making money, so we'll do it, right? Let's change the base up, make them closer. Let's change all these rules and do that. Let's add an extra football game because we're making lots of money. But you're right. It has to come to the players going, all right, no, we're done. We're not doing this anymore. Yeah. And the problem is there's collusion with the owners. We all know that there's collusion, even though they say there's not. And they're just changing stuff left and right. Hockey's the one that hasn't been touched really at all. Mm-hmm. Other than the stupidity of the All-Star game, that's the only thing that's really stayed as pure as it can be. I mean, other than, the rules of, fighting and stuff, which was what we grew up with playing hockey and sports. But, I mean, other than that, I mean, I'm waiting for the NBA to put a 4-point line in and a 5-point line.
They should. Yeah, they already trying to shoot from half court. You might as well.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Or somebody else created. I was talking to my brother about that today. Somebody needs, just like how they got the XFL and the USFL, how they have different rules. I'm surprised nobody else has came up with it. I mean, I know the big three, but that's not full court. So if they did, some crazy rules like that, the last 2 minutes is worth double points, like something. You know what I'm saying? I'm quite sure it'll go.
Yeah. Why
And
not? My thing is, why not kick a field goal from with the tee used to kick off from your 30 if at the end of the game? You can only use it in the last 10 seconds. So your guys are kicking 80-yard field goals. Why not? Why not just say, let's just make it like an amusement park type thing game?
No.
Get the vote. What the end game is this week? What's your vote? The vote has one quarterback and a center against 9 guys. Can they do it? That's what it's going to come to.
Yeah, I'll even equate it to, because I'm a huge NASCAR fan, or I was, and I know Angel followed it for the longest time. Once they started tinkering with that product, you look at the stands now, and like over the last 5 years, they have taken what was a great sport, a great spectator sport, and they have turned it into a clump of crap. The stage racing, like all these other things, all the rules that they've come out with, and now now the tickets are so damn expensive. They're tailoring it to the sponsors families, and that's the route that they decided to go, and it's destroyed it. And when it comes to like Major League Baseball, I thought that after '94, I thought that they destroyed themselves enough, but they continue to find ways to just alienate fans. So,
yep. How about this? Go Super Bowl this year, right? It was 30% Eagles, 30% Chiefs, and then the other 40% was corporate. Mm-hmm. When you're outpricing everybody, why not? I went to the women's national championship game was here. My daughter wanted to go, and look, $6,000 for a ticket down by the floor. Everything, all verified resale. Let the tickets be the price that they're going to be, and let people that actually want to go to these games.
Yep.
You're spending more money on corporate sponsors that are going to go. A buddy of mine, he was here. He goes, "What are you going to Super Bowl? Who are you rooting for?" "Oh, no, but I'm just going out there to hang out and see everybody." Really? Then make another stadium for the hangout people. Make the people that actually care about the game. Let them go to these games.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's part of it too, right? You're phasing out, your lower to middle class families because of a corporate guy I'm just going to go hang out and leave after the first quarter. But, well, what's the point, right? There's people that want to go that have to spend their family nest egg to go to a game because somebody jacks up a price 300% and you can't go.
Or they're using the tickets to close a business. They use the tickets to close a business deal. Oh, I got a box at the Super Bowl. Let me close this deal.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're spending $10,000 for a ticket, hotel room, and flight just to go to a game. If you're lucky enough to even get, and that might even be in the nosebleeds. Really?
I've already looked at hotels out in Vegas for the Super Bowl, and I'm talking about like Circus in New York. They're talking $400 or $500 a night right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You're better off getting like an Airbnb out in the desert or just buying an RV.
No, they're like $5,000 a night, and some of them are like, I mean, it's I'm telling you, it's from Wednesday, because I did some research from Wednesday to Sunday. You're looking at some of the Airbnbs were like $15,000-$20,000.
Yeah. That's what it was here. I was going to do that. I just looked at it for just messing when the Super Bowl was here in Dallas. I'm like, I think probably could put my house up for about $12,000 a day.
Yeah, you could.
Right? What are you doing? That's the thing, though. I mean, look, you can't even have fun and enjoy it. But I mean, granted, now TVs is big enough where I can sit at home, right? I got a bathroom, I got whatever I need, I got people there. I don't have to worry about stuff. Traveling, I can sit there and see it. So, but it's going to come down to the fans as well of walking away from it. Hell, Oakland A's fans did. They walked away from it. They're drawing 300, 400 fans.
Yeah,
that's what sports. That's what fans just need to do. All right, we're not Super Bowl. Okay, I'm not going to go. Who else is not going to go and just sit there and let those people that jam up prices, let them tickets rot in their pockets and just see what happens until the fans actually stand up, like you were talking about the athletes standing up. All right, this is enough. We're not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
It ain't worth it.
Yeah, I think the only time they tried to look out for us was when it was in Atlanta, and that was because of the whole COVID situation. They were like giving away the tickets to us, but my tradition, I'll go out like on a Wednesday, do all the festivities, and then I'm back home on the couch because I want to, I want to actually watch the game because, like you said, it's too much.
Yeah.
I've gone to too many. Seriously, I'll go to Bucks games and it's so much going on that I'm watching the game, but then when I come home and watch the highlights, I'm like, dang, I missed that. So it's just
Yeah.
it's too much, man.
I got a better view at home.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Especially getting the bigger game, the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's the best part of the commercials. You can't see them when you're there.
Yeah.
You know, it's all the on-field stuff that they do, but it's not. Like I said, it's not even enjoyable to go because you're not there with your fans. You know, maybe let them, instead of having a designated location, the Super Bowl's at, whoever has the better record or something. Do it that way.
So
You've earned that right. So, yeah, I mean, they do it in the playoffs in every other sport but football.
Yeah.
Right? You got to go to one city or the other.
It should be that way. Well, the same way too. Like I think Kevin, so the one thing I absolutely love about the Lightning is that when they're in Toronto, they have the watch party down there at Amalie Arena. $10 to get you in. The only difference is the players aren't on the ice, but they have all the in-game festivities as if the game was going. I don't understand why the NFL can't do the same thing too for their hometown. So let's just say hypothetically, it's again the Eagles in Kansas City, and obviously if they're going to be in Vegas, then allow the KC fans and the Eagles fans to fill up their venue so at least they can enjoy it with, 50,000, 40 other thousand fans. But the NFL, because they're so greedy, they're like, well, because of insurance, because of this, that, and the other, then put the money towards charity. Just make it, a $20 cover charge to get in. Let the fans, unite for that night to have fun. They can enjoy themselves. If they have to be out as soon as the game is over after, the presentation, their trophy presentation, then let them go. But the NFL just keeps making billions upon billions upon billions of dollars, and it's not fair to the average fan because, I mean, a lot of us aren't just going because the ticket prices are just beyond ridiculous.
Yeah. And you want that experience. You want that. You see it in college. These national championship game. They showed the University of Connecticut. Their arena was full of their students just in there watching the game, being in there together. Right. I mean, that's what it's about. You're trying to. I mean, that's just more revenue for each of those teams to do it. Either do it that way or just have it centrally located and play it in the same spot every year, like you did the Pro Bowl. Pick Dallas or whatever, or New Orleans, somewhere where everybody can go to all, like they do one AA championship game. They do it here in Frisco at FC Dallas Stadium, Toyota Stadium. Every year, that's where it is because it's centrally located. Do it that way. That way your fans everybody knows, all right, here it is. And then bring everybody there. But it's it's the highest bidder. Who's gonna be the highest bidder for it? That's all it is. And I know they want to rotate it through, and it's just the same thing with college football, right? You've got all your big bowls, and then who wants the big one? Who's gonna cough up the most coin for this, right? For the national championship game.
I can't even keep up. There's so many. The Outback Bowl is no longer the Outback Bowl. When it was the Outback Bowl forever, it was whatever it was this year. And then, the Citrus Bowl used to be the Citrus Bowl. Now there's like 12 bowls in Orlando now, so it's just, I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're what, didn't Jimmy Fallon have a bowl game?
He does.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. So it's crazy, man.
There's more players. There's more players than there are fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, where is everybody?
Did you see how Angel snuck the Lightning in there though? He just had to sneak the Tampa Bay Lightning in there into the conversation. So.
Well, what are we going to okay? Would you like me to talk about the Flyers? Oh no, hold on. Let me talk about the Blackhawks. Are the Blackhawks being their genius?
And I'll say this about bowl games, Ronnie and Kevin and Angel, is there are too many of them.
Yeah,
guys. One of your qualifications for making a bowl game is you have to be 7-5 or better at the end of the year. None of this 6-6 nonsense.
Yeah, used to be.
Or just plucking teams out just to fill out the bowl game. No, you're rewarding mediocrity. I know it's all about money, but I know if I were a program and we finished 6-6 and we got invited to a bowl game, no, I don't want to go. we didn't. What's the point? That none of that makes sense, and it comes back to what Angel was saying: participation trophies. You know,
And then think about the guys that are opting out. Like
yeah,
I wouldn't dare opt out. This is the
no,
last chance for me to play with my boys in college. Like this is my last time putting on this uniform.
yeah,
Like, come on, man, this is it's ridiculous. And then 95% of them don't even get drafted.
Yeah.
and then it's like
It's my
if we're not playing in a national championship game or we're not playing in a playoff, the hell with it. We're just going to get ready for the draft, and that's what you're seeing now.
Yeah. Well, think about it. It's like North Carolina this year. Hubie Davis said, yeah, you guys can go to the NIT. He's like, no, we're done. We're not going to go. We don't. But, you know, and people were, why aren't you going to go? This and that? Because it just didn't. It's okay. Why? Because they deserve. No, they don't deserve. We didn't want to go. We didn't feel like we belonged there. They just didn't have the basketball team. And granted, it's still North Carolina. It doesn't matter. I'd rather put. Would you rather a crappy North Carolina team show up there or just not go at all? So now you're going to say your product that you have, as opposed to let somebody else go that are deserving, that actually have a good team. That whatever UNT I think played in the final of the NIT. UNT, I mean, really? University of North Texas played in the final of the NIT. Really? I mean, North Carolina probably would have beaten them by 50, but that wouldn't have done anything for them.
Right.
Okay, win the NIT, right? That's what? That's like being a bridesmaid, but never a bride. So he was like, no, but people go, why didn't he want to go? Because we just weren't deserving. So as a coach, we're 6-6. We need to go to a bowl game. Swallow your pride, coach, and go, no, this just isn't. There's other teams that have better records. Send them.
Yeah.
Send another team that can do it.
Yep.
But no, it's all about now chasing that almighty dollar with college football. These cupcakes Michigan goes and plays, St. Mary's from wherever and beats them by 70, but they get money for their program.
Yep.
Really? Are you really that hurting for money that you can just go, you want to go do that, get your teeth kicked in and just say, we got to go to Michigan. It's like me playing against T-ballers. Oh yeah. What am I going to get out of it?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's what they're pushing. That's what they're pushing on this. So, I don't know. It's like you said. You can get on my soapbox and go forever about it. It's frustrating. It's frustrating now as a fan because it's hard. Baseball is just hard to watch in general. It's just that's why I guess maybe just highlights. I'll just watch the highlights all day and see what's going on.
Now anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you're right. So
what was your journey like going to the? What was your journey going to the pros?
So as far as where I went through, minor leagues and stuff, all over the place.
You say go ahead now.
Just the different. The minor league cities that you go through, different small towns. You wouldn't. Why would I go to Pulaski, Virginia? What's in Pulaski, Virginia? That's where I played my first year of pro ball. What is there? Nothing. But I got a chance just to see different parts of the world and understand that it was a motivational factor of, all right, it's great, being here around, these fans because it's about their community, but I don't want to stay here. What do I need to do to get out of here? This generation now, there's no motivation to get them to do it. How do you motivate? And I look at some of these kids that play baseball, and I'm thinking, what? Well, they're not motivated. Everything has to be, it's incentivized. Okay, I'll do this if you give them something. Wait, how about the fact that you could be one of those guys that plays in the major leagues in any sport, but that doesn't motivate you enough? I don't know what the hell does then. I'll just kind of go through the motions, and you sit here and you go, oh my gosh, I want to be better than whoever. Somebody's talking to me or whatever, I met Johnny Bench when we were 12. Like, I want to be that guy. I want to be a Johnny Bench type player. I want to be at that level. What do I need to do? These kids nowadays, it's just kind of, I'm going to go be a TikTok influencer and dance and make stupid dances after I strike out a little 5-year-old and I'm dancing doing cartwheels. You need to be punched in the face is what you need to be happening. That's part of the problem.
Yeah, because they're not the same. Because I remember my first time going in the NFL locker room, I knew then at 16, I was like, okay, I want to work and I want to get here, and I knew it was going to take work. But now it's like, I mean, it's like coaching ball now. Like everybody wants to skip steps. I get all these parents like, "Do you think my son's going pro?" And I'm like, "He's 5." Like, how about get to high school? How about graduate from high school, go to college, do? I mean, it's just everybody wants to skip that step, and then I hate to tell some of them because I mean, if you're 5'5" and your husband's 5'5", I mean, unless your son is a cheetah, I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and the guys that get are the guys that have played at the highest level. They understand that it's. Yeah, you're right. You're 5 years old. There's a lot that goes into it. The growth factor. You start to see it, in that 13, 14, where kids start to really fill out and go, yeah, there might be, but still, you're right though. I got to get them to 85 coaches. I've got to get them to do this. I've got to get them in front of this. I've got to watch. And and it seems like this generation, it's all about input. They need more information. They have to be told what to do as opposed to just, they're not proactive. They're just reactive to what it is. Let's go.
Here's another thing that worries me, Kevin, especially like with baseball and football and basketball. Now that you have the name, image, likeness in the college sports,
Gosh,
where's the motivation? Yeah, you still want to make it to the big leagues, but it's like, man, I'm getting paid while I'm here to be an athlete. Which, look, if that's the route that they want to take, great. But like you even see it in the college basketball tournament now during March Madness. Guys that are at the smaller schools that are busting their butts probably a little bit more, they stay at those schools for 3, 4, even 5 years. You know what I mean? That's why you're seeing some of the upsets that you do because there's a cohesive unit there. A lot of the bigger programs, like I'm a Kentucky Wildcat fan. You know what I mean? The whole Calipari thing with the one and done is there's a reason why he's had all that much talent. He's only won one national title there. Because they roll, and now with the name, image, and likeness in it, it just
wait. Hold the phone. So we went from the Florida Gators to Kentucky.
I'm a Florida Gator football guy.
Okay, all right. Kevin, I just want to straighten that out. That's all. Go ahead, co-host.
Hey, I told everybody I'm all over with my sports teams, and there's a story behind every one of them. But that's for another show. So, but I don't know, Kevin. I mean, what do you think when it comes to like baseball now and name, image, likeness?
It's ridiculous. That and the transfer portal. You've got guys. They were talking about that was a women's. We were watching a women's game, and this girl had been at 4 schools in 4 years. So as a coach, we were talking to somebody. Maybe it was Nate Newton. We were talking. He goes, "You have these coaches. You're trying to recruit another 60 guys. You're trying to keep your 60 guys on a football team because they're not there. They're not locked into your contract because of the transfer portal. And I get it if a coach leaves, like Dion left wherever he was, went to college. That's fine. You should be allowed to opt out of your contract, right? Of your scholarship at that point. But you can't just jump ship every year because somebody hurt your feelings. Right, because then you get to the NFL Major League. You hurt my feelings. Can I get out of my contract? And go, no, this is part of the deal. So what you're teaching is entitlement. You hurt my feelings. I have to leave. I have to go somewhere else. No, I don't like this school. Now I'm going to go over here and play. Now I don't like this school. I'm going to go over here and play. So what are you doing? What are you teaching these kids? That it's okay to jump from. So they're going to go to a job here. I don't like it. I'm going to quit. I'm going to go over here. It's going to be Wayne's World. Right, he had this board full of name tags. He had 100 of them because of the jobs he had. Yeah. But that's what you're teaching these kids, right? Jump and shit. Like I said, the one sport I think where you don't see any of this is hockey. You don't even hear about it because I'm pretty sure. I mean, hockey got players who are a different breed in general. That if one of those guys said, "Hey, Andrew, I'm transferring because I don't like the coach," he would probably punch him in the face and go, "You want to change now?" No, probably not. I'm going to stay here because you don't. But that's the thing. You just don't see that anymore. And then with social media, I'm going to get on there. I'm going to talk bad about these guys, about my teammates, and this and that. And all of a sudden, here it goes. And these guys it's all over. So what are you supposed to do as a coach? I'm just going to sign a 1-year deal. If they all leave, I'm just going to leave.
But I think more of these coaches
So,
need to be like some of the other guys. If they like, what I don't get is this: if you do enter the transfer portal, like, why would you think you can come back? And it's crazy because some of the coaches let them back. But if more of them start saying, okay, have that conversation with them, just so you know, if you do enter, we're done, but a lot of coaches won't do that because they're scared that they won't have the talent. Which I don't want a kid that's gonna jump in, jump out. It's either you with us or you're not, and that's just that.
Yep. Yeah, and you've seen it at the youth level, kids. I had a kid I was coaching. He wanted to come back a third time, and I didn't even answer the phone call after that because they always think the grass is greener. I get over here. Didn't like it, so no. It's it's great that your parents want to do that and bounce from team to team, and you can't really build a core of guys unless you get the respect from the players themselves. That's where it starts with the coaches. If you have the respect of the players, that they're going to get onto you, but doing it out of love, not just because the fact of what it is, right? Because when we were growing up, people said all kinds of bad stuff. But did I want to leave? No, it just motivated me, use it as fuel to go, okay, that's what you think of me. I'm going to prove you wrong, as opposed to I'm not going to prove you wrong. I'm just going to prove my point. I'm going to leave. But that's what you're breeding. That's what this whole world has become.
I know the good thing is all the record books will be safe because nobody's going to break it because nobody's going to stick with it.
Yeah, that's true.
Gone are the days of like baseball, Cal Ripken, Tony Gwynn, guys playing 20-plus years for one organization.
Yeah, no.
There's nothing there. The guys are going to play. They're going to jump ship. Mike Schmidt said they're going to stay there. They're going to be cornerstones that you can build on for 15, 20 years. Mike Schmidt is here. He's not going anywhere. That guy's here, right? But no, we've got, well, who's your favorite player? Oh, it's this guy. Well, where'd he go? Oh, he's over on the West Coast. So I don't get a chance to watch him unless I pay for the stupid baseball package. It's $900 to watch my favorite player. Now all of a sudden you got to commit. I mean, I'll turn on the TV and I'm looking at, I went into a baseball card shop one day and I'm looking at these cards are $300. I go, who are somebody in the minor leagues? I go, who in the hell is this? What are people doing? Who are these guys that they're trying to build off of that you'll never hear from ever again?
Yep.
And that's the thing. I mean, it's, you can't, there's no cornerstones to build off of because guys are going to jump ship right away. I'm trying to think of the longest tenured player on one team anymore. What is it, 5 years, 6 years?
That's it. I mean, you're looking at Bryce Harper and then over, Mike Trout with the Angels. And even Mike Trout, who, I mean, you're talking about $434 million. Since he's gotten paid, he's gotten more injuries and his batting average is way down compared to before he got the humongous contract.
Yep. And that's what I mean. They just did it because they didn't want him to leave. All right, we'll just throw all this money at him. So kind of like Giancarlo Stanton in Miami. Yeah. What do you get, $300 million? Yeah. That's great. What's $300 million to get your teeth kicked in 120 plus times a year? That's good for 60 wins. Why not defer it? Do what Bobby Bonilla did and say, "Hey, go spend the money on people and build around me, and you can pay me on the back end." Yep. No, these guys want their money now. Give it to me now, and it's just kind of like with Jalen Hurts with his deal that he signed. Everybody wants this, but you look at the numbers, right? The salary cap, it's given Howie room to do something else to build around them, right? You can't have one great player and then one varsity player and then 9 or 10 freshmen around you. Who's going to get killed? Mm-hmm. And that's the problem. But there's just there's no loyalty. The fans want to be loyal, but how can you be loyal when guys are leaving all the time?
That's so true.
I mean, right? I mean, Embiid has been a cornerstone of Philly for 10 plus years now.
Yeah.
So he's there and he wants to win, but he's vocal about it too. He'll tell I want to win. What are you guys doing to help this team win?
Yep.
And that's fine. You're able to do that. If you're going to stick around in a city and play for 10 plus years, yeah, you're damn right you're allowed to say something. Mm-hmm. But you better produce as well, especially in a town like Philadelphia. I mean, you look at let's say our goaltending. It's for the last 30 years. Who was the last good goaltender that really stuck around for a while?
Ronnie Ghent. Yeah.
But he was vocal too in what he was doing, right? He was vocal in what he wanted to do. Yes, do something, but help me out here. And he would show up and play, And that's the thing. But you just don't find that because these guys are going to be gone in 3 years.
Yep.
Here we go, right? These guys. That's the thing. So what do you do as a fan? I want to be a part of it, but how can I? So I go buy a $300 jersey, and the dude's gone next year. I go buy another one. Then I got to go buy another one. So what do you do as a fan? What do you do, right? I mean, that's the thing. It's about the fans, and you can't. It's the owners. It's about money. The fans. It's about the athletes we go see. I want to see you play. I don't care about your political views. I want to watch you play. But if you're going to leave, then what am I going to do?
You call Mike Klein for t-shirts.
Maybe we need to start getting. Maybe we need to get TikTok influencers and make them athletes. That way they can still keep bringing people in through TikTok, and then they can still do stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's frustrating as hell, right?
Mm-hmm.
But good luck with that one, though, because I don't want any TikTok influencer. None. First of all, I don't have the app, don't care for the stupid app, but I don't care for any of them to come out there and do all the silly nonsense they end up doing because it's burned out America. It's burned out a lot of these kids. But, they're going to do just the next greatest thing is going to come up. Who knows, Froggy Humpty Dump, some ridiculous is going to come down the pike, and everybody's going to jump on that as well because that's what people do. You got a bunch of followers. There's no more leaders in our society anymore. It's a bunch of followers. I just want to follow what the other person does. I don't want to work hard. I don't want to be me. And if someone calls me weird or something else, well, then I'm not good enough. But therefore, I can just go ahead and be a follower and just follow what everybody else does. So that's a show that we're going to get into one night. I swear we're going to get into it one night because it drives me absolutely insane with this stupid nonsense that goes on anymore here in America. But, that's another show for another night. But we'll hit some bonus time here. We've already come up on the hour. And those of us who joined us here late, it is Kevin Mench, our MLB analyst, on the phone with us. Gave us 15 minutes. So we're only on minute number 14 with Kevin here. We're coming up on minute number 15. But Kevin, the one thing, because I know Ronnie's been dying to talk about it as well, with now, obviously, Jalen Hurts getting paid, Lamar Jackson, and the situation out there in Baltimore. And as Ronnie said, why would Lamar want to play with Baltimore? Not seeing, obviously, what Jalen got paid. And so I like to get your take here.
Gosh. It's a tough situation for how Lamar is, for what he's capable of doing. Like I said, it's like the media. We only know about 20% of what's actually going on, what behind the scenes, the conversations that he's had. I mean, you saw the Odell Beckham signing there, where there's something there. I mean, I don't know. Is he wanting to break the? I don't know. I don't know what pieces they need. I mean, you look at someone like Jalen, who's kind of, I mean, his dad here is just one of those guys. It's really humble guy where he's like, I don't need to get paid this gigantic contract because I know what we're capable of doing. Lamar's got the ability. He's got everything he needs, but I don't know. Is he not a teammate that people want to be around? You hear all the time, you hear about Jalen, the leadership that he has. He just has that calm demeanor about him, right? I mean, it's your locker rooms kind of dictate what kind of money you want to give somebody, right? We can build around Jalen Hurts. He's a guy he's not the biggest guy, but he's a leader, right? You're just talking about leadership. Maybe Lamar is not the leader that they need. I don't know. That's what we don't know what goes on inside that locker room. We don't know the conversations that he has. We don't know. I mean, I don't follow him on social media, so I'm sure that the owners look at that stuff. I don't see Jalen much on social media what he's saying and doing. It just seems like he kind of just stays the course, right? Of what the end goal is winning a Super Bowl. That's my end goal. You look at the adversity he's been through from the time he was into college and stuff. So I don't know, right? There's a lot, Ronnie. There's a lot that goes into that other than just the amount of money. Is that a guy we want to build around, right? Am I wrong for saying that?
No, you're absolutely
go
right.
ahead, Ronnie.
I mean, but he's all of those things that you're talking about. I mean, I kind of know a lot more about him because of the fact that he's an alum. So it's like it pains me when everybody talks about, he can't throw, he can't do this, he can't do that. The thing is as professional players, you run the playbook that's given to you. Like he doesn't call his own plays, and the thing is like if you go back and watch him in college, he became the electrifying guy that he became, that he was because of the fact that he had playmakers that wasn't making plays. Like, so he's gonna put the ball on the money, and if they drop it, then I mean he's gonna do what any other playmaker wants to do, and that's win. So he's gonna take over the game. I mean, and that's what you have to do. But I mean, if you look at the recent drafts, like ever since he's been the starter, I mean, yes, he has a solidified tight end. Yes, he has some running backs, but at the same time, the running back room caught the plague and everybody was down back to back to back to back to back. So it's like you ask him to do these things and he runs it to perfection. And then all of us, because nobody talks about the Monday Night Football game when he was against the Rams, where he went out there and just used his arm the whole night, and then, even with Josh Allen, they talk about the hits that he takes, but I mean, Josh Allen is Buffalo's running back. I mean, look, they don't have a running back. He's the running back. And it's like, so it's just one of those deals. I mean, for him, if he's guilty of anything, I think he kind of let his emotions kind of take, because he's not that dude. Trust me. He's always been quiet, always been, you know, go with the flow. But, when people started talking, I guess, the human element came out and he started responding to some of the tweets. So if he's guilty of anything, I think that. But, I mean, other than that, the man deserves to get paid. And, maybe, I mean, there should be some compromise on both ends, but you got to think, like I tell people all the time, if we're all carpenters and we all have 15 years in, and then all of a sudden somebody that just got their license come in and the market is set here, but then he goes out and gets paid this, I mean, it's going, you're gonna feel some type of way, and it's like, it's just crazy. I mean, you know, uh, Kyler Murray, look at the situation with, like, he's never had like a surgery injury, like a torn this or a torn that, but it's just, and that's why he wants to get paid, because what you're asking him to do, like, you could end his career all because of what you want him to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, so I mean, then look at, okay, you give Odell Beckham this money hands down. Did he play last year?
Nope.
So it's just one
He
of
didn't run his mouth all year.
yeah, you I mean, he wanted 15, you gave him 20. So it's like,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I will say this, though, and I
You're
know the Ravens aren't saying it, but I've seen things by some reputable sports writers that cover the NFL, and I mean, Kevin, the best availability. Well, the best ability is availability, and I know they're not coming out and saying it, but he has been hurt a lot the last couple years, so I think that's a sticking point right now. Don't take my word on it. This is what I've seen from some sports writers that do cover the NFL, and I just don't think they've seen enough out of him in the last 2 years where if he can't really complete a full season, why are we giving him the money? That's what I've heard. Whether it's true or not, I don't think the Ravens are just going to blatantly come out and say that. So, but that's what I've heard.
You're right. It could be using sometime, like Ronnie, you're talking about, let his emotions get the best of him to kind of really back him into a corner to see how he's going to react. Right? I mean, everybody put all this pressure on Jalen's going to get this kind of deal. You never heard word one from Jalen at all. Nothing. Nothing. You let it play out. And maybe Lamar goes to, could have gone to them and said, "Hey guys, I want to be here. What do we need to do? But to the safety of me, what are you going to put around me to help me out, to not make me have to throw it 35 times and run it 35 times a night? Are you going to give me a couple of receivers? You got a tight end and, like you said, a running back here and there, but what else do we have? Is the line not there? Are there not guys that can block from? That's what I'm saying. I don't.
No, the line is there. The line he just doesn't have. The line is there. The running back room is there. The tight end room is there. But Odell was the first move that they've made. I mean, and then like Marquise, you just get, even though he was kind of 50-50, but you get rid of him. But he was, the target that you needed. And it's like, okay, so when you got rid of him, what did you do different to help? So you got rid of a
Yeah.
target, but you didn't bring in a target. And then you want me to throw to all these, like, I mean, look at the weapons Jalen got. Look at the weapons Tua got.
Yep.
Look at the weapons all of these quarterbacks have. He's done it with nothing.
Yeah.
And that's his argument and case in point. But it's just at the same time, I mean, it's going to be one of those deals to where I think a lot has to do with it as well, is because he's doing it unconventionally, because he doesn't have a agent and all that stuff. So they're going to hold that against him too, because I mean, NFL's been run 100 and some years doing it a certain way, so they don't like change. But I mean, at some point in time, the insults have to stop, and he feels insulted. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you want me to do this, you want me to do that, but you haven't given me the weapons to do that. And it's like, and that's just the bottom line. And I can see if you had given him the weapons and he wasn't doing it, now we can make that argument. But the injury stuff is an excuse. But I mean, do you go out and take a chance again? And then again, like how many times do you got to be that I mean, he didn't do what Kyler Murray did. I'm gonna take everything off my social media and I'm gonna go pout and I'm gonna threaten to go be a video game warrior, and then all of a sudden he gets paid. So it's just he hasn't done that. And it's just it's crazy.
And I'm sure he looks at Deshaun Watson's deal and goes, that dude got a boatload of money and he has nobody to do anything around him, but he got all this guaranteed money. And I'm sure that's in the back of his mind too. Well, look what they gave him. He's got nothing. I've got nothing here. And they're not giving me, maybe they're not giving me that money that he got over there with nothing really, because Deshaun's got nobody to really throw to, does he? Or he's got, I can't think, gosh, I can't.
He's got Landry.
He's basically the same weapons. Yeah, the same weapons that Lamar has. And he doesn't have the off-field issues that Deshaun had. So I can see him saying, well, guys, I've got all this stuff stacked for me here. This guy had all this stacked against him. He got this. So you know what I mean? It's probably one of those where I don't know. It's, you feel bad for him because of what he's done, especially in the NFL, with what the body goes through and everything else. So it's tough. It's got to be tough for him. It's gosh.
But if they draft a quarterback, that's a slap in the face. I'm just going to tell you that right now. That is the ultimate slap in the face, because I mean, a lot of these guys that are coming out, they're good, but I mean, the man's the X factor. And that's just that. And he proved that, because when he's not there, they don't win.
Yeah, I think these guys that come in are that never played in the NFL. And college is not the NFL. He's a proven guy that's played at elite level with subpar talent around him and done it. So, but he maybe he just walks away from it. I don't know. And just to say, hey, my career is not worth this. If you're not going to put the pieces around me, I'm sure there's teams out there chomping at the bit, wanting him because they have the talent. So, but the draft's in a week? It's a week from today, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
and
DeAndre Hopkins wants out of Arizona. Does Baltimore go get DeAndre Hopkins? Bring him in? Now Lamar's going to go, hey, sure, I'll take it, and then incentivize it. Give me $20 million in incentives for the year or something. Right?
You the tag. You just take the tag. If D Hop comes there, you take the tag, and now tomorrow's prices is not so yesterday's price. So hey, go is going.
Don't take a discount off this year, right? But this is his chance to prove himself if he does. These are the guys that are around.
If they don't get somebody like a DeAndre Hopkins, I think he walks away. He's not going to stay there. I know they signed Odell Beckham, but he's coming off that injury. You don't know what he's going to be like coming off that injury until he gets into game mode. And, if they go out and sign D-Hop, maybe he stays. but they're going to have to do something else other than Odell Beckham. If they don't do something other than Odell Beckham, they're going to have to bring in like another high-profile number one receiver. If they don't do that, he's not going to stay there.
I mean, like I said, you just got to give guys weapons. That's just the bottom line. If you want them to do something special, I mean, because you can only do so much with a tight end. You can only do so much, running the ball. Like you need some type of downfield threat. I mean, you need all the sides of the field occupied: the right, the left, the middle.
Yeah,
and that's just that.
I mean,
Ronnie,
you look at the Lab that 1 year, right? They brought T.O. in, right? All of a sudden, Nab goes off because he's got options to go to. They can't just single out. They can't double one guy, right? Kind of what we have with between AJ and Devonta. You can't double them. You're just going to have to pick your poison there. So that's why what's the premium now, right? What are we doing? We're stocking up on corners and safeties because it's a passing league, because we've got guys that can cover. That's the thing. What are you going to go get to help him out? That's the thing. Do they make what pick do they have in it? They have a high pick or a low pick in the draft? I know they got him from us, right? We traded out the first round at the Super Bowl, and then Baltimore drafted Lamar.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Ronnie, you know as well as I do, Lamar is really part of the running back core. I mean, let's be honest. He's a dual threat quarterback. I know they've got like the plethora of running backs. But really, who does most of the running most of the time since he's been there?
I mean, he really didn't have a choice. I mean, like I said, the running back room got the play. Because to be honest with you, if you put Lamar, like, say if he wasn't there and Lamar was in that offense, he would have been successful the same way. Why? Because he has the weapons. He has the weapons that he needs in order to perform. Like when they were making those moves when AJ came to Philly, I already knew what they were thinking. I knew what they were going to do. It was already, because you already had the other pieces. You just needed that other key component. So they went and made the moves. I mean, you got a tight end. You got two receivers. And you got a running game. So they got everything they need in order to be successful, in order for Jalen to be the field general, to go out there and distribute the ball. But when you got a guy, like I said, if you got a guy who has that type of ability, yeah, I'm going to run it a few times, but then I'm going to duck up in there and you think I'm going to run it, and then I can throw it over the top. Now you're in trouble. But he has, even if he did that, he has nobody to do that with right now.
Sounds like they should run the wing T with the amount of running backs they have.
I mean,
Cubby Raymond wing T.
Hopefully they're healthy. Yeah, if they're healthy. Yep. I mean, even with, like I said, even with the amount of and that was another thing they did too. When they did have the 3 tight end set, they were better. But what did they do? They traded them off and kept one. So it's like, once again, you killed the formula that was working. So
yeah. All true, but listen, the fun part would be that this conversation keep going. This is why when you have a sports radio station combined with the podcast now, you can go on. We can make this into a 3-hour show because Lord knows we've got enough material for it. But listen, first of all, Kevin, thank you for joining us now officially for your 15th minute, even though it's been longer than that. Which I'm quite sure we'll have Kevin on a whole bunch after this. But thank you also to Ronnie, to Ryan, my producer over in Studio B, and to everyone who tuned in on Sports Radio 102.9 FM. The Game, obviously here on BroadStreetSouth.com. Next Thursday night, come join us as David Murphy, yes, Murph, the former 6 ABC meteorologist. We'll find out everything he's been doing during his retirement after 6 ABC. So we'll be talking some more Phillies talk next week with him. But listen, Kevin, thank you so much for taking time away from practice and family out in Texas to come on with us tonight.
Absolutely. Anytime, gentlemen.
All right.
I appreciate it, Kevin.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome, Kevin.
Yes, sir.
And to everyone else.
I appreciate it, guys.
Oh, you're welcome.
Have a great one.
To everyone else, we hope everyone has a great weekend. We will see you all next Thursday night.